Hey, welcome to Watch It or Don't. Dan, Matt, Tom. We're continuing our James Bond themed week. This is day 4. We are doing a review of Skyfall, leading up to Spectre tomorrow. Skyfall was the latest James Bond movie. It's
one of the best.
One of the best, possibly. We'll debate it. Starring Daniel Craig and much of the cast that is in Spectre, a similar cast. Directed by Sam Mendes, who directed American Beauty, Road to Perdition, a lot of different things. Maybe not always the action guy, but he does pull this off pretty well, I think.
Yeah. It's fine for me. It was a little bit lackluster after, well, I guess not after Quantum of Solace. It was definitely better than Quantum of Solace. But, Casino Royale, we touched on, is my favorite one, and the action is good. He's got the opening scene where he's running through
Istanbul.
Yeah, and I mean it's cool. It is, but I wanted something more from it, and I'm not exactly sure where it failed.
And I can't remember where in like the timeline of what movies came out, but that whole opening in Istanbul and him riding on the roof, it's almost exactly the same as in Taken 2. So part of me kind of was upset. I don't remember which one's first.
I think this one was first.
You don't want to associate that with Taken 2. That's for sure.
Don't see Taken 2.
I really enjoy Skyfall. There are parts of it that are dumb. I think the plot is not the greatest.
Yeah.
There's a lot of plot holes, but it does have a lot of cool little moments, very cool little James Bond moments. First of all, I think the song is great by Adele.
Yep.
It's
fantastic.
It's classic in a good way.
Probably one of my favorite in a long time.
Yeah, it feels like from the 60s. It feels like something that could fit with any Bond movie.
Right.
I think that's great. I think a couple of the action sequences, especially my favorite sequence is there's a fight I think they're in Shanghai, and you can only see the silhouettes and there's the lights in the background.
Very trippy.
Yeah.
Roger Deakins is the cinematographer on this.
Right.
And it's amazing.
That's
love it.
Cool.
That is one of the highlights as far as action goes.
And just I really liked Moneypenny, and I like Q. Bringing up the old
Q is good.
Bringing in the old elements that we haven't seen in a while.
Right.
Just those kind of things boost the movie up for me, because it feels like a great classic James Bond movie mixed with the modern sensibilities.
Right.
See, and the kind of, again, with that classic thing, I really enjoyed Javier Bardem. He is such a good, creep, creepy dude, and, things get a little bit weird with the whole face thing.
We haven't had a good, quirky villain in a long time, and he fit that bill
he's so good at being menacing, if you've seen No Country for Old Men, he is what makes that movie and stuff, and it's just, he's so good, and he's also so charming at the same time, so he really was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the ending? I feel like that's kind of a part we kind of agree on, maybe not, it's not the best part.
We better.
So the ending is they're running away from London to try to get away from, is it Silvio or Sylvia? I can't remember his name. Silvio. They go to James Bond's old home up in Scotland.
Right.
And they kind of hide out. They set traps for these guys. They try to, he's with M, he's with his old caretaker, basically. And
Kincaid.
I think a lot of people have made this joke. It's a lot like Home Alone.
Yeah, it's very Home Alone-ish. I started to roll my eyes when I was in the theater because it's like, oof.
Yeah, it's not bad. They do a fine job with it. They make you care about the characters. It's really this is a spoiler, but it's heartbreaking when M dies.
Yeah, but I like how they set up the new M.
They do, but the problem with it is that's just not how I want a James Bond movie to end. It's like I go in. They set up these other action sequences. The ending action sequence needs to be the best. That's my problem with Casino Royale too. It's just it loses steam in the last half hour.
So here's my theory on that, just to try to change your mind. And I know we've argued about this before, but you've got Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, and Skyfall. The three are connected, and this is how all three are connected. I know you don't agree with Skyfall so much, but it's setting up this new Daniel Craig. It's a brand new world. We're seeing him start from the beginning, is getting his 00 service, and at the end of Skyfall, everything is ready to move forward from this point on. We will see some parts from the original two, but we've got a new M, we got a new Q, but that third movie in the set is just so that we really have this new James Bond world created, and now sort of it'll kind of be set up. So it kind of had like a Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, and now this will be a very much, kind of driving home that point.
Right, but just looking at what Spectre seems like, it seems wrong to think of those as a trilogy and think of those as kind of the end caps, Casino Royale to Skyfall, just because when you do that, you're not prepared for what Spectre seems like it's going to be.
Well, that's just more in terms of setting up this Daniel Craig James Bond.
I get
and we're
that.
going to learn a little bit more in the next one, but I remember hearing a long time ago, I feel like I heard somewhere that they said they want to make this new James Bond stand out.
Yeah, well, of course they do. They want everything to stand out.
Right.
But, like, I don't know. I mean, I think that Casino Royale itself, like, set up who Daniel Craig's Bond was enough that, you don't need 3 movies to tell it.
You get his love story, though, the same way, you're not... He's different with women. Like, the 3 movies really set what his, like, mentality is. You know what I mean? How he treats things.
I don't think that all 3 of them have to work together to do that, though. I think that you do see that either way in Casino Royale. And so it's like, rather than thinking of it as this trilogy that is leading up, obviously it's setting up to, it's like Bond's prologue,
Mm-hmm.
and that's cool, and it's cool how they did it. I like that they did that and connected it like that, but Spectre still seems to be enough into that where it shouldn't be separate.
Right. Well, I gotta wait till I see it, but that's just how I feel with those 3.
Other minor gripes about Skyfall. For a long part of this movie, Bond is not very cool. He comes out of retirement a little bit. He's a little
cool,
shaky. He can't fire a gun very well. It's like, it's kind of interesting how they show that arc because you don't really see that ever.
Right.
But that's not who James Bond is. That's not who we pay to see.
Right.
It kind of goes back to what I'm saying
whatever.
It kind of does. It fits.
I think you're grasping at straws there.
No, I disagree.
Okay. Should we jump into ratings?
Let's jump
One
into
final
ratings.
rating before we do Spectre.
Does anyone want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I gave it an 8.4. It's a solid Bond movie. I think it's my top 5 Bond movies of all time. It's probably 5. I'm saying.
Okay.
But 8.4. I think it's a good time. I think it has elements of greatness in it. Ending is not my cup of tea, but I will still watch it all the time.
Yeah.
It's great.
God, it's tough for me.
Want me to take
you
over?
you
Okay.
go. I might change
You
my
think
mind.
about it.
Okay.
I think this movie deserves a great. I may seem a little bit harsh on it, but like it is aside from kind of having Bond, like you said, be a bit of a loser. It is what you want in a Bond movie. It's exciting enough where you are drawn in, and it's also outlandish enough where it's still James Bond, and seeing Ralph Fiennes and Ben Whishaw as Q. It's exciting, and like I said, the way they tie it in, you get to see it from the beginning, and you're like, oh, that makes so much sense now. It's almost like you started off with a conspiracy theory, and now you realize what it actually paid off to be. So I think it is worth it.
I think I'm ready. I think I've given
Got it?
enough deliberation in my head. Yes, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
I know that might seem harsh compared to how much
Because you are the Bond expert of all of us.
I'd like to think so.
The
And
best.
here's my reasoning: 3 out of 5. There was a lot of hype, so I really wanted to enjoy this. I got to see it early because I think we were all abroad.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely got to see it like a week early or so because I was in London and got to see it.
Yeah.
And 2012 is a huge year. They just had the London Olympics, so it was full on England. I mean, there's a lot of British flags in this one, as you see, and at the funeral scene and stuff like that. So it's the most patriotic, I feel like, of any of the James Bond films.
Okay.
That's a weird thing. I'm just giving you a frame of reference, though, of like how much hype was behind this movie. And I wanted to love this movie. But the plot wasn't anything too crazy. I kind of knew what was going to happen. It was kind of the same pitfall of he wanted to get caught. That didn't seem like anything crazy. This is one of the big things I hated about the film, was the CGI kimono dragons. We've come so far in the Bond movies that's what you do. It just seemed, especially how he steps on the kimono dragon to get out of the pit. Yeah. That was so stupid.
Compared to the alligators.
Running across alligators and live and let die with real alligators. That was amazing. How about we do something amazing like that? And I was just like, they look terrible. And then you add at the very end where I'm like, come on, movie, turn this around. We get a Home Alone ending. And I didn't like that so much. I'm okay with M dying. I loved how that got set up, but I wasn't super impressed. But it was okay. It wasn't great.
Well, hopefully that'll give you a frame of reference for our Spectre review.
Right.
Hopefully we'll get out tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it. Hope you are too. Hope it's great.
Yeah. I'm going to go with low expectations this time. We'll see.
Anyway, we got to go or watch or don't. Hopefully you've enjoyed our James Bond week. Be sure to subscribe for more content coming your way, and we'll see you next time.